Harry Potter X Reincarnated as a Slime by HollowKnight. In a house a young boy waits, having been starved for 3 weeks, eating almost nothing but the bare minimum to keep him alive. He waits for the others in the house to go to sleep before his uncle opens his cupboard. Vernon. Boy, listen and listen well. If you do anything while we sleep, I'll install the lock I got today sooner than planned, and you won't be able to come out for a month at the least. Do you understand me? The young boy with green eyes and a scar upon his head looks to his uncle. The boy is named Harry Potter, forced to live with these relatives. He looks to his uncle. Harry. Yes, Uncle Vernon. Vernon sneers at the boy before slamming the cupboard door, shutting it as Harry shits the light off and waits for the right time. His stomach growls at him, demanding food as he sits and waits. Hours pass before Harry thinks it's safe. He slowly and quietly makes his way out and towards the fridge, getting food and trying to get back. Unfortunately, the boy trips and hits the ground as he hears his uncle come down. As he looks up, he comes face to face with his uncle, who in his tired state becomes enraged. Reaching towards the door, he grabs a belt and begins beating the boy with it, even using it as a whip and hitting the boy's back until blood begins to pour out of the boy's back. Vernon grabs the boy and throws him into the cupboard and install the lock. Vernon. I warned you, boy. You will not be coming out of there for a month. Vernon says this with a red face. Just seeing the freak angers him. As he marches back upstairs, the boy lays on the broken bed in the cupboard as blood gets on the bed. Days without food pass as the sounds become infected, and Vernon leave Harry without food, and on the last day of the month his magic can sustain his body no more, as he cries himself to sleep, but not before he mutters something. Harry, I wish I had a family that actually loved me. A voice rings through the boy's mind. He is unable to understand what it's saying as everything goes dark for the boy, having been beaten too badly by his uncle. He closes his eyes until a bright light surrounds him. Harry opens his eyes to see a nice-looking woman looking down at him. Harry. Excuse me, but who are you? Harry says this in a panic before he stops in shock at what came out of his mouth. Cries, but not his. These cries belong to a baby. Thoughts run through Harry's mind a mile a minute, not sure what to make of this, but nevertheless time and life goes on. As years pass, Harry eventually figures that he may have been reborn thanks to some manga he found, becoming almost addicted to manga at the young age of 12 as nothing seems to happen to him, but he got his wish. As time continues to move forward, he is now 37 and meeting a co-worker who in his mind wants to show off his new girlfriend to Satoru. Satoru, the name his parents gave to him in this life. It's not a bad name. He really couldn't care less as his coworker arrives and, like he thought, begins showing her off and bragging. Satoru. Seriously, I've heard the term trophy wife. But you're not even married, so don't go to crazy. Jez, this guy. Screaming is heard as Satoru looks to the side, seeing someone running towards them. On instinct, Satoru pushes his coworker and girlfriend out of the way before he himself gets stabbed in the back. The knife is soon ripped out of him by the same guy who stabbed him. As he continues running, no doubt looking for another person to stab, Satoru falls to the ground, thoughts running through his mind, his wishes these times being far different. Then the last one, the same voice from before, rings through his head as he can finally understand it before darkness covers his vision, just like last time. After a while in darkness and figuring out that he was reborn as a slime, this time he meets the storm dragon Veldora, who gifts him the name Rimuru Tempest, as Rimuru had given him the name of Tempest, a name they both share. Life Veldora even taught Rimuru how to see in slime form. As time marches forward in the Potter world, an old man sits in his office sucking on some candy as alarms begin to sound, shaking the movie pictures on the wall. The old man jumps to his feet and moved to the entrance to his office with the grace and agility of a young 20-something arriving at a little house. He knocks on the door as Vernon is the one to open the door, and in a short amount of time sirens are blaring as the family is taken by the police and their son taken into an orphanage. As the old man pulls a stick out of his robe and swishing it around as a faint glow appears at the tip, he manages to walk away with Harry Potter's body, wondering how he could die by any other hand besides the Dark Lord's, a boy that the old man helped to teach before. An idea and a thought goes through the old man's mind. Old man. Neither can live while the other survives. With this, he rushes to have the boy's body taken care of and to get back to his office. Back to Rimuru. Rimuru sits at a round table being forced to come up with a new name for the demon lords as he killed one named Clayman and 2 retired. Rimuru having joined their ranks and being the newbie, they decided he can name them the name he came up with, the 8-star demon lords. Getting the agreement, Rimuru's life continues unknown to him. How different time has flown in the 3 different worlds. To be continued. Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, should I use seasons for this or something else? Rimuru sits in an office, head laying on the desk. Years have passed and here he is stuck in his office. Sometimes he wishes Yuki and the others who picked a fight with him were still around just for a little adventure. But then he remembers all the work it took for his peace. Rimuru leans up, putting his hands behind his head and closing his eyes as he thinks to himself. Rimuru. Maybe I could go pay a surprise visit to those kids at the school here. Replace their teacher for one day. I don't think I was a bad teacher. I need something to do. This is boring. Shuna. Rimuru-sama, it's time for lunch. Rimuru. Oh shit. Rimuru immediately sits correctly as he makes it look like he had been working. Rimuru. Come in. With this, Shuna enters with a tray that she sits in front of him. Rimuru looks at it and is about to take a bite out of it before the door is busted off its hinges as it falls into the floor. A pink-haired demon lord Lol rushes in and steals his food. Rimuru. Sighs. Hello Milam. Milam. Hey Rimuru, let's go for something fun. Rimuru. As much as I would love to, I have work. Rimuru notices that Milam flinched a bit at the word work. Rimuru. You skipped out on Frey again, didn't you? Milam. No, I didn't. As this continues, a young woman with black hair enters the room. She wears white and has her hair tied in a ponytail that hits the side. She was also once upon a time one of Rimuru's students. Chloe. Rimuru-sensei. Oh. Chloe sees Milam bouncing around from the sugar treat she stole as she, in an attempt to get out of the conversation, shoots past Chloe and out a window. Chloe. Rimuru. Don't ask. Chloe. Right. Seal. The individual known as Milam is having a sugar rush. Evacuation may be needed. Seal. The evolution of Raphael, which is the evolution of Great Sage, gaining the name Seal and evolving further once Rimuru named Raphael. Rimuru gets to his feet and walks towards the window. Milam rocketed out off. Rimuru. I'm going to take care of Milam. All right Shuna. Hi, I'll make another one for you. Chloe. Oh, can I help? Shuna. That won't be needed. Before he can get caught up between the two, Rimuru rushes out the window and immediately finds her standing over Goblet, who is someone who doesn't know when to keep his mouth shut. Rimuru. Just great. Meanwhile, in a castle, several students begin to walk into said castle as the old man from before, Albus Dumbledore, stands at the front overlooking the students at their house tables. Dumbledore. Welcome, welcome. It is now time to choose our champions for the Triwizard Tournament. Meanwhile, Rimuru is back in his office and Chloe is sitting on a couch in the room as she looks up at Rimuru. Chloe. Something wrong? You flinched. Not even waiting for the confirmation that something is wrong, Chloe is up and ready to defend Rimuru should she need to. She's been through hell to save him. She won't be letting something happen to him now. Rimuru. I'm fine, Chloe. Really? Chloe goes to sit back down. Rimuru. More importantly, I think I'm done working for today. Chloe. Then what will you do? Rimuru. I think I'm going to the hot spring. Chloe watches as Rimuru gets up and goes to walk out the door before she grabs his arm. Chloe. I'll go with you. Rimuru. Sure. Chloe. Can I carry you? Rimuru looks at Chloe and sighs, turning into his slime form and bouncing into Chloe's arms as Shuna comes back. The two have a glaring contest. Rimuru. Probably should have waited till we were outside. More important. I felt a tug. I wonder what's going on. Dumbledore has just called out the names of the champions as the fire turns blue as they all look at the goblet of fire strangely as a piece of paper shoots out. Dumbledore catches it, reading it. Dumbledore. Harry Potter. Dumbledore watches as those who heard him look at him in shock as the name begins to glow and then change. Dumbledore once again reads the paper again, saying a different name. Dumbledore. Rimuru Tempest. Meanwhile, Rimuru sits comfortably in his office looking over some things. Chloe sitting on the couch in the office as Rimuru feels a tug once more. Rimuru. That was weird. Meanwhile, fire continues shooting out of the goblet, creating a circle as they all look in shock and slight awe as the fire glows so intense even Dumbledore must take caution as Rimuru's eyes widen and a light begins to surround him. Chloe immediately jumps to Rimuru, calling his name as she manages to touch him before he disappears. Shuna and Shion walk in to see Rimuru and now Chloe glowing and then disappear as the two girls scream for Rimuru before he disappears. Chloe and Rimuru are now falling through what appears to be a light tunnel so bright that it hurts to keep their eyes open before slamming onto a hard floor. Rimuru goes to get up before Chloe falls on top of him. Chloe. I'm sorry. Rimuru. It's okay. Dumbledore. Two people. Rimuru looks up seeing the older man as Chloe gets off him and helps him up. Chloe. Sorry again, I didn't mean to land on you, Rimuru-sensei. Rimuru. Like I said, it's fine. More importantly, where are we? Rimuru and Chloe look around in shock. Dumbledore. You are in Hogwarts. School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Rimuru. Chloe. A school. Dumbledore. Unfortunately I can't understand what your companion is saying. Rimuru looks to Chloe and says English. Chloe. Oh, right, sorry. Dumbledore looks at her strangely. Dumbledore. She spoke English without any magic involved. As if she had been speaking it for some time. A man with a scarred face looks to Dumbledore. Man. Albus. Dumbledore. Yes, of course, Knight. I ask which of you is Harry Potter. Rimuru perks up at the name, giving Dumbledore his answer. Dumbledore. I must ask that you come this way. I will of course explain everything in time. Rimuru about to say no stops and simple motions to Chloe. Dumbledore. Ah yes, your companion may stay here and enjoy the feast. Rimuru looks to Chloe, who doesn't look like she wishes to leave Rimuru's side. Rimuru. Stay here and don't cause trouble. Chloe looks almost insulted before sighing and nodding her head as Rimuru walks to the room that Dumbledore points at. Dumbledore has just called out the names of the champions as the fire turns blue as they all look at the goblet of fire strangely as a piece of paper shoots out. Dumbledore catches it, reading it. Dumbledore. Harry Potter. Dumbledore watches as those who heard him look at him in shock as the name begins to glow and then change. Dumbledore once again reads the paper again, saying a different name. Dumbledore. Rimuru Tempest. Meanwhile Rimuru sits comfortably in his office looking over some things. Chloe sitting on the couch in the office as Rimuru feels a tug once more. Rimuru. That was weird. Meanwhile, fire continues shooting out of the goblet, creating a circle as they all look in shock and slight awe as the fire glows so intense even Dumbledore must take caution as Rimuru's eyes widen and a light begins to surround him. Chloe immediately jumps to Rimuru, calling his name as she manages to touch him before he disappears. Shuna and Shion walk in to see Rimuru and now Chloe glowing and then disappear as the two girls scream for Rimuru before he disappears. Chloe and Rimuru are now falling through what appears to be a light tunnel so bright that it hurts to keep their eyes open before slamming onto a hard floor. Rimuru goes to get up before Chloe falls on top of him. Chloe. I'm sorry Rimuru. It's okay Dumbledore. Two people? Rimuru looks up seeing the older man as Chloe gets off him and helps him up. Chloe. Sorry again, I didn't mean to land on you Rimuru-sensei. Rimuru. Like I said, it's fine. More importantly, where are we? Rimuru and Chloe look around in shock. Dumbledore. You are in Hogwarts. School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Rimuru. Chloe. A school. Dumbledore. Unfortunately I can't understand what your companion is saying. Rimuru looks to Chloe and says English. Chloe. Oh, right, sorry. Dumbledore looks at her strangely. Dumbledore. She spoke English without any magic involved. As if she had been speaking it for some time. A man with a scarred face looks to Dumbledore. Man. Albus. Dumbledore. Yes, of course, Knight. I ask which of you is Harry Potter. Rimuru perks up at the name, giving Dumbledore his answer. Dumbledore. I must ask that you come this way. I will of course explain everything in time. Rimuru about to say no stops and simple motions to Chloe. Dumbledore. Ah yes, your companion may stay here and enjoy the feast. Rimuru looks to Chloe, who doesn't look like she wishes to leave Rimuru's side. Rimuru. Stay here and don't cause trouble. Chloe looks almost insulted before sighing and nodding her head as Rimuru walks to the room that Dumbledore points at. Walking down a set of stairs, Rimuru looks at all the trophies on the walls and pedestals. Rimuru. A trophy room. Why send me here? Seal. Husband. 3 others are in this room. Rimuru hums to himself before coming face to face with 3 people, 2 males, 1 female. Rimuru watches as the girl throws back her hair, walking up to him. Girl. What is it? Do they want us back in the hall? Rimuru. A accent, and from the way she's speaking I'd say French. At this several others walk in, arguing. A tall loud woman almost yelling at the older man that Rimuru, if he heard correctly, is named Albus, and from the way several are speaking to him Rimuru would say the name Albus Dumbledore. Rimuru. Strange name Dumbledore. Another man walks towards Rimuru almost in a hurry, shouting. Man. It's extraordinary he's been brought back from the dead though. Why does he have the appearance of a young woman? Another man walks past wearing all black. Almost jokingly he says. Man. Perhaps Potter was so blessed he got another life after death. Rimuru looks at him and actually speaks. Rimuru. Actually that's true. Seeing no reason not to just say it, it would probably complicate things more if he didn't, so he tells them that yes, he did get another life after he died as Harry Potter, shocking all in the room. The girl from before walks towards him, looking him over. Girl. Reborn as a girl, Rimuru. I gotta thank you, Seal. Getting rid of her accent for me helps a lot now that I can actually understand her. Then it dawns on Rimuru what she said, looking at the girl. Rimuru. I'm not a girl. Second, my name is Rimuru Tempest. The girl looks at him in shock. This boy is far more beautiful than herself. She wonders if Rimuru is telling the truth about being a boy. Rimuru. Geez, and I have to deal with all this. Makes me wish someone was here to deal with this for me. Someone like, wait, no, never mind that, go all sorts of wrong. Man. It is true. Then this is Harry Potter. And he is a Triwizard champion. Rimuru. W. What? I didn't sign up for some tournament. This is completely unfair. Rimuru looks at the adults in the room while the other 3 champions look in shock. Rimuru. Hey, I didn't sign up. That's not right. Why must I be a champion? Man. You have no choice. The Goblet of Fire creates a contract with the champions. I'm afraid by choice or not, you are a Triwizard champion. Rimuru looks at him like he's a complete idiot. Rimuru. I'm sure I could just break it, but I was also complaining about being bored. Then again, this isn't exactly what I had in mind. Maybe I should just see where this goes. Rimuru is then told the rules of the tournament and the power of the Goblet of Fire, though they wonder why it brought him back. A man with a mustache says it may have been ancient summoning magic. Magic that they believed to be lost to them and will likely stay that way. After minutes of conversation, Rimuru is let go along with the others as he goes to try and Chloe to talk things over with her and Seal. He is stopped by the old man. Dumbledore. Mr. Tempest, if I may have a word with you. I believe I have someone who would be interested in meeting you. 2 people. Rimuru looks back as the man in black seems to want to protest allowing whoever these people are into the castle. Rimuru. That's fine, but I would like to bring Chloe if that's all right. Dumbledore. You mean the girl? Why, yes, I believe that's fine. Rimuru. Right, Dumbledore. Professor McGonagall will lead you to my office once you have found Miss Chloe. Then Rimuru nods as a lady with a green cloak follows him and glances at him. McGonagall. Mr. Page. Mr. Tempest. Rimuru looks back at her. McGonagall. I'm sorry for what happened to you. It takes Rimuru a few seconds to get what she means, figuring she is referring to his first death. Rimuru stops and turns to look at her fully with a smile on his face. Rimuru. It's okay, I don't blame you, so you don't really have anything to apologize for. McGonagall looks at the young man with the appearance of a beautiful girl, nodding her head as she follows to grab Chloe and then go to Dumbledore's office. As soon as they arrive in the Great Hall, Chloe jumps up and is almost immediately in front of Rimuru, almost having crashed into him. Chloe. Sue, what's the story? Rimuru. 1. I have to compete in a tournament. 2. We need to go to a office, and from the way everyone seems to treat him, if day he's the headmaster. Chloe. They're not anything like. You know. Chloe looks to McGonagall and instead of saying the name of the person she's thinking of, she simply hopes Rimuru will get what she means. Rimuru. Don't know yet, but I would say so, at least not yet. McGonagall coughs into her hand. McGonagall. Best we not be late this way. Rimuru. Right, let's go. Chloe. Chloe. Hi Rimuru and Chloe follow McGonagall to Dumbledore's office. As McGonagall says someone, the creature in front of the office turns, revealing S staircase running up. As they walk upwards after McGonagall motions for them to do so, getting to a door and entering it, they see 4 people: Dumbledore and the man in all black from earlier. He appears to be glaring at a man in a purple trench coat as a man in an old-looking suit appears to be trying to stop the fight between the two. Man. Come on Snivelus, don't be such a rugged man. Sirius, don't be rude. Sirius. Be quiet. Remus. Snivelus. Must you two always behave like a old merry couple? Sirius. Why don't you run along and play with your chemistry set? Snivelus. Remus. Sirius, we are grown men, we should behave as such. Dumbledore. I must agree with Remus. Sirius. Severus, calm yourselves. Rimuru. This is uncomfortable. Chloe shuts the door behind herself and Rimuru, getting everyone's attention as they stop arguing and look at the two, Sirius and Remus, eyes landing on Rimuru. Sirius. Harry. Rimuru. Rimuru watches as Sirius runs at him. Chloe watches this, ready to defend Rimuru, but if her feeling is right she won't need to, at least not with this man, as Sirius goes to hug Rimuru before stopping and thinking about it. Sirius.
I'm Harry. Sorry, it's Rimuru now. That will take some getting used. I'm Sirius Black. You probably don't know this, but when you were first born. Well, born here, I was named your godfather. I would have taken you with me to raise. But things happened. I was only recently freed, only to find that you had died. I'm so sorry. I failed you. I should have been there and I wasn't.
Rimuru. Hey, it's okay, really, look. It's nice to meet you, Sirius. My name is Rimuru Tempest.
Remus. Hello there. Rimuru. Correct, my name is Remus Lupin. I was another friend of your parents.
Rimuru. Hi, it's nice to meet ya. Rimuru shakes Remus' hand as Rimuru looks to Sirius.
Rimuru. Sue. Godfather, huh? Remus. I believe Dogfather works better. Sirius looks to Remus in a way that says shut up as. The man in black, from what Rimuru heard, his name is.
Severus sneers and walks out of the office as they all talk before a portal opens above Rimuru, shocking all of them as bodies fall on Rimuru, forcing him to the ground as Dumbledore looks in pure confusion. How could anyone make it through the wards at Hogwarts? It should be impossible, as Sirius seems to look from Rimuru, who is now buried in a bunch of bodies, several of which begin crying and saying Rimuru over and over and hugging him, to Remus, and shrugs and snickers to himself. Shuna and Shion. Rimuru-sama, we were worried. The two shake Rimuru back and forth as everyone save for them, and Rimuru get up and form a line.
Rimuru. I missed you guys too, but maybe don't shake me so hard, okay?
Getting that they should probably stop, they let Rimuru go, who stands up and offers his hands to the two, who accept it and are now up. Rimuru. Sorry about all that. Anyway, I should probably introduce all of you, huh? Sirius looks to the female and them at Rimuru before looking back at Remus and looking like he's about to die from joy. His godson, even in another life, is a ladies' man.
Sirius. And here I was thinking he was married to that black-haired girl, but he's got a whole bunch. James. James the First. Hope you're able to see this now.
Remus. Sigh asterisk. I know that look. Oh dear, Dumbledore. Yes, an introduction would be very welcomed. Rimuru. Right, well, this one who's trying to sneak up behind me is Veldora. He's a shut-in, so don't let his muscles fool ya. Veldora. W. What? I'm not a shut-in. I opened the portal to come after you. We're sworn friends, remember? BFF, remember? Rimuru. I'm only joking, Veldora. Haha, calm down and don't look so sad. Veldora. Oh. Wait, that's right, we were supposed to tell you. Rimuru. What is it, Veldora? Well, our world's time seems to be, oh, what did he say? It's different now. Shuna. He means that our world and this world, our times have synchronized, so day here is day in our world and night here is night in our world. And
Veldora. A few other things that aren't important. Veldora holds up his hand as if looking through a magnifying and gets really close to Rimuru. Veldora. I think it's the magic that summoned you here.
Rimuru. W. What? Ain't that bad for the planet for time to change like that? Shuna. Rimuru-sama, there's no need to worry. The other demon lords and mages from across the world are working to make sure our world doesn't suffer. A few even think that if whatever it is that brought you here is either destroyed or the contract of the magic is complete and you come home, then everything will be fine.
Sirius. Go back. Wait, he can't just, they can't. What am I thinking? Look at him. He's happy just talking to them. So long as he's happy. Right, still maybe I should tag along. I missed so much, and wasn't there for him. So there's a chance he won't even want me there with him. I'll ask, before he goes. Dumbledore. Go back. No, not likely, we just got him back and he must be the one to defeat the Dark Lord. But then I also have hurt this boy in ways I don't even wish to imagine. Perhaps, I have become far too much like you were, willing to truly do whatever it takes. For my vision of the future. I wonder if perhaps I ask him, if he would assist, in defeating Tom.
Rimuru. So I just got to go back, huh, and our times will go back to normal, we'll go back to normal. Shuna. That was the theory, but there isn't much to truly go off of.
Seal. Report Chloe will likely have to return as well for everything to return to the way it was as she was dragged here with you. Rimuru. But she's not part of the tournament. Seal. Yes, husband, but to be safe it is better that all of the individuals from our world return to our world at the same time. Rimuru. Jeezies, maybe it's a good thing they lost their summoning magic. Taking people from their homes is wrong anyway.
After a bit more though, Rimuru perks up. Rimuru. Oh right, I still need to finish the introductions, right, like is said. This guy here is Veldora. Veldora Tempest. Sirius. They share the same last name. Remus. The look those two give each other reminds me of how Sirius and James would look at each other when they got idea. I think it's safe to say that your son made a friend for life.
Rimuru moves over to the next person in line. Rimuru. This one here is Shuna. She's great at cooking and making clothes. In fact, she's the one that made the clothes I'm wearing now. She also does a bunch of other things, but I'd rather get introductions done.
Shuna gives a small bow. Shuna. It's very nice to meet you all. Moving over once more. Rimuru. This one here is Diablo. He's kinda like my own personal butler. And he is really one hell of a butler. Diablo gains a full-blown smile at Rimuru praise as he places a hand over his heart and gives a small bow, but on the inside he's screaming like a fangirl meeting their celebrity crush and getting called pretty by them. Moving over once more. Serious eyes almost shoot out from his eye sockets from the size. Rimuru. This one is Shion. She's my first secretary and original bodyguard. Shion looks smug as she straightens her back, a cocky but happy smile on her face. Moving over once more. Rimuru stops at the next one. Rimuru. This next one is a very good boy. A tail wags, but after learning from past mistakes it wags slowly.
Rimuru. His name's Ragna. Rimuru pets Ranga's head as the good doggo moves closer to the touch as Rimuru stops. A bit of whining escapes from Ranga as Rimuru stops in front of Chloe.
Rimuru. And for those who don't know, this is Chloe Aubert. She's an old student of mine back when I was a teacher. Rimuru smiles, thinking back. Rimuru. It wasn't for long, but it was fun. The others all say hello as after a bit more conversation,
they determine that they will be needing a place to
stay, not wanting to fail his godson again. Sirius almost jumps at the opportunity to say they can stay with
him before Dumbledore says they have some rooms they
can stay in so that Rimuru can be close for the tournament. After a bit more conversation, they let go and make their way to the rooms they were given. Turns out that the founders of Hogwarts made extra rooms in the case that something went terribly wrong with the originals. They're warned that since nobody has entered since the time of the founders, they may be a bit dusty, but they say it's fine and move to the dorm. They're told to go to Rimuru. Stops and turns a rune. Rimuru. Thank you for the rooms. With this, Rimuru leaves. As Dumbledore sits back and watches Sirius and Remus talk about having Rimuru, or Harry as they are calling him, how well Sirius is calling him, saying how much work that's going to take to get used to. Dumbledore. Strange. As many times as I thought of reading the boy's mind, I could never get through. He has impressive mental barriers.
Rimuru sits and waits for night to turn into day as B sits in his slime form on a bed being cuddled by Shion and Shuna with Chloe in the middle. Rimuru. I thought they were supposed to sleep in a different room. How did they get in mine?
Rimuru lets out a soft sigh as he allows his mind to move to different subjects.
Rimuru. I wonder what this tournament will be like. I don't think it will be easy, but I don't think they would make it too hard either. The people who were supposed to participate are students, so should just go easy in the tournament. And what to do? I shouldn't go to easy either.
As night turns to day, everyone gets up and begins moving around as Shuna comes up behind Rimuru, who is still in slime form. Shuna. Rimuru-sama. Rimuru looks back at Shuna, who has clothes in her hands. Rimuru thanks her, jumping into her hands and absorbing the clothes and transforming into his human form.
Damn, those clothes look good in black. Deciding
that it's for the best, Rimuru puts his sword into his
stomach and gets ready to leave the room while the
others are still getting ready. Rimuru waits for them, and once they're all ready they leave, walking down the staircase in the castle, looking at all the moving paintings. As they make it to the bottom of the staircase and are about to head somewhere, a giant set of doors seem to be open. It looks like the students are having a feast. As Dumbledore spots all of them, he gets up and makes his way to all of them. Notice Ranga isn't with them. He wonders where the wolf had gone off to.
Dumbledore. Rimuru, my boy, why don't you and you companions have breakfast?
Rimuru feels Shuna gaze on him as he puts his hands up. Rimuru. I'm afraid I'll have to pass. Hee. Dumbledore. Well, if you are truly sure, but I must say the food is marvelous. Rimuru. I don't doubt that, but I'm good. Dumbledore. Very well, so you know classes are about to start, so you may not simple roam the halls for the time being, or I can have Sirius come and gather you so you may readjust. Rimuru. That would be great, thanks. Dumbledore leads them to his office and seems to speak into his fireplace as he motions for them to take a bit of sand and say the name Diagon Alley. They all do so as Rimuru goes last and is shot out of the fireplace. Luckily he slams into Veldora, knocking both onto the ground as Rimuru shakes his head. Rimuru. Wow, talk about a way to travel. Sirius. You like that? Then you should travel by port key.
Rimuru. A what? Remus. A port key? It's a Sirius. Don't tell him, let it be a surprise. Rimuru. Why don't I like the sound of that? After that, Sirius and Remus show the group around Diagon Alley, noticing that they don't seem very surprised or impressed. They even get some ice cream and the group don't seem to like the flavor.
Sirius. Say, what do you think is wrong with your friends? I thought they may like ice cream. Rimuru. Oh yeah, they do, it's just complicated, let's go with that.
Sirius and Remus gain looks of confusion. How could ice cream be complicated? It's ice cream, unknown to them, as Rimuru seems a little worried that they may say the reason they don't like it is worried, and the ice cream vendor is upset that they don't seem to like his ice cream.
Shuna, Shion, Chloe, Veldora, Diablo. It doesn't have the taste of Rimuru-sama, sensei.
A.N. Veldora just calls him Rimuru. Oh. Magic, And with that they spend the day looking over things until Rimuru sees some people lifting things with sticks.
Rimuru. What are those wands? Sirius. You say that like you don't have a wand. Rimuru. Well ya see. Sirius. What?
Remus covers his ears, already expecting that reaction. Sirius. You don't have a wand, then how do you do magic? Unless it's wandless, I don't think you'll be doing much, so then how do you?
Rimuru. Like this. Rimuru raises his hands as he shoots ice into the sky from his hands, shocking the two. Remus. Don't do that again. Luckily no one seemed to be paying attention, but simply doing magic like that will be bound to gather a great deal of attention. Sirius. That's true. Sirius is still looking up. Sirius. Okay, about we get you a wand. Rimuru tilts his head as the next thing he knows they're all in a wand shop. Rimuru stands in a building looking at all the dust that is on the floor and the like. Rimuru. Why are we here exactly? Sirius. For a wand.
Rimuru. Okay, but why? I don't really need one, and I'm not from this world anymore. Don't you think they'd think that the other world would have different magic?
Remus. That is not the issue, it's a simple thing really. Well, for one, Sirius wishes to buy you something you can keep with you. And there's the wand weighing that all champions must do. Rimuru. Sigh, more traditions. Really, I mean, I'm all for traditions, but this is just getting old. First I have to compete, now I got to get a wand. I won't even use what's next, a dance. Remus and Sirius look at each other and try to hide a smile. This doesn't go unnoticed by Rimuru. Rimuru. Oh, for the love of Rimuru. Well, it's a good thing I had them stand outside while we went in here. The only one who would be able to tell any of them anything about the dance would be Ranga. Don't betray me, Ranga. Seal. Request. I would like to be husband's date to this dance. I also believe we should investigate it further. Rimuru. Oh, this is going to start a fight. Breaking Rimuru from his train of thought, a later rolls on a track before coming to a stop as an older man stands on it. Rimuru, having read the name on the building, believes this is Ollivander. Ollivander. Ah, Mr. Potter. Or rather Mr. Tempest, a pleasure at least. Rimuru watches the man immediately set out to finding a wand. Ollivander. It seems only yesterday that James and Lily were in here buying their first wands. He takes out a box and brings it to Rimuru, who has his eyebrows raised as he is handed a wand, but as soon as his hand makes contact with the wand it explodes, shocking everyone at the noise, and the group outside look inside to see what had happened to the remains of a brown wand. Ollivander. This is new, let us try a few other combinations, shall we? I believe Lord Black is the one paying for everything. Sirius perks up at this as he begins to wonder how much this is going to cost. And here he was thinking it would be simple, but now that he thinks about it, he did watch the boy perform wand-less magic, so maybe. Pop. Sirius jumps at the sound of another breaking wand as Remus looks to Sirius, who looks at him, seeing the smirk on his friend's face. Sirius. Not a word, Remus. Oh, of course not, Padfoot. Pop. Ollivander. Strange indeed. I may need to make a special one for you. Rimuru. Make one, and how long would that take? Ollivander. Mr. Tempest, even I can tell just how strong you magic just from this. I'll have to try and combine 2 cores, and I'll need a strong material for that. Luckily there is such a material, but is not cheap. I would say about a week. Rimuru. Right, thank you then, Ollivander. Of course, my boy, now I must get to work. Ollivander looks to Sirius, who goes to get to paying for every wand that was broken as well as the special made wand to have it made. Remus. Rimuru, shall we head outside? Rimuru. All right then. The two head outside to see a blonde-haired man trying to start something with Rimuru group, that is, until Rimuru focuses on the man and unleashes a small bit of his demon lord aura on him, causing the man to go pale and run. Rimuru. Who was that? Remus. That would be Lucius Malfoy. Seems he thought he could bully your group. Wonder what got into him. Rimuru looks up with an innocent smile. Rimuru, who knows? Rimuru heads over to his group and makes sure everything is alright as Remus stands there in wonder as Sirius come out. Sirius. What's wrong? Did something happen? Moony Remus. Lucius appeared to be trying to start something, before he ran. Sirius. Well, who made him run? I'd like to thank them for that. Could never stand that man. Remus laughs slightly as Sirius pats him on the shoulder and the two go back to join the others. Rimuru asks to look around for a bit longer and luckily somehow gets his way and even gets to move around alone as Rimuru looks around and sees a broomstick on display. Rimuru. You're kidding. They actually ride brooms. Seeing another store full of books, Rimuru goes to look at the broomsticks before he overhears a conversation. Man. Get out of our society. You're filthy and insult to our world, just like your mud-blood mother. Crying of a child fills the alley. Rimuru overheard the conversation as Rimuru goes to look. A kid runs into him without even thinking. The child latches onto Rimuru to cry her eyes out as Rimuru looks at the grown men that made the child cry. Man. What? A girl? Man too. Look at her hair weights. That's Potter. Man. What? Yes, I see. I remember reading about him returning from some other world in the paper. Man too. What do you want? Poe? With a simple glare the two grown men turn and run from Rimuru begging for forgiveness, but Rimuru doesn't care about that. Instead he gets on one knee and pats the girl's head, allowing her to cry before he asks where the girl's parents are. Getting the answer that the girl got lost, Rimuru agrees to help find her parents. It doesn't take long to find them as the mother immediately takes the girl into her arms. As for the father. Father. You're Harry Potter. Sorry, I mean Rimuru. Tempest. Correct, you were in the Daily Prophet. I read about your return. It's nice to finally meet you. Rimuru. Yes, it's nice to meet you as well. Shaking the man's hand, Rimuru soon leaves the girl behind with her family, but the girl thanks him before he leaves, but a thought does linger in his mind. Rimuru. Mudblood, huh? From the way they said it, it's an insult. Rimuru walks by the bookstore and decides that maybe he'll get a few books. Sirius did give him a few gallons. Walking into the library, a bell rings as the clerk looks up at Rimuru, shocked at who just entered. The man looked like he's about to run at Rimuru and thank him several times over for what Rimuru doesn't know, but he simply waves and the man waves back, starstruck as Rimuru gets to looking around, soon making his way upstairs. Rimuru. No, boring. Harry. Wait, what? Rimuru stops and pulls out the book that said Harry Potter. Rimuru. The Legendary Adventures of Harry Potter. Looking up and seeing others, some even seem to be placed where you can see a cover of a young boy fighting a dragon. Rimuru looks back down at the book in his hand and flips through a few pages. A look of sheer confusion passes his face. Rimuru. They can't actually believe this stuff, can they? How could a kid do any of this? Rimuru flips onto a page that catches his interest. Reading through it, it claims that as a baby at the sight of his dead parents, the baby filled with rage defeated you-know-who. Rimuru. Okay, this is completely ridiculous. Who believes this junk? How could a baby beat? Who the hell is you-know-who anyway? A name would be nice. Rimuru puts the book back, deciding that he's had enough. He goes to leave as the clerk looks at him. Clerk. Are you not going to be buying anything, Mr. Tempest? Rimuru sighs and grabs a random book, seems to be about plants, and takes it over to the clerk, paying for it and being on his way. Rimuru. Actually looking around now. That may explain why I've been getting a few weird looks. When we first got here no one really noticed because I was surrounded, but now that I'm alone. Rimuru looks around, seeing several wizards and witches looking at him in awe like they've just met a superhero for the first time. Rimuru. This is just weird. Rimuru train of thought is cut off as a man runs to him, hand extended, forcing Rimuru hand up and shaking it. Man. Welcome back, Mr. Potter. Welcome back at long last. It's with this that several others make their way to shake his hand as Rimuru looks completely confused. Rimuru. Seal. Yes, husband. Rimuru. I'm not imagining this, am I? They really think a baby killed somebody. Seal. It is not your imagination, they're shaking you hands. Rimuru hand continues to be shaken as his thoughts run all over the place. There are even several older witches that seem to be making passes at him. Luckily Sirius and the others decided to get him, then getting him out of there and at a house through a fireplace. Rimuru. Okay. First thank you, second got a question. I heard something that grabbed my attention. What's a mud blood? Sirius looks at Rimuru then sighs. Sirius. It means a dirty blood. It's a Remus. It's a less than polite word for someone who is muggle born. Shuna. What is a muggle? Sirius.
It's someone who was born not having any magical parents. Someone without magic in the bloodline is another way of explaining it. Your mother, Lily, she was a muggle born. And your father was a pure blood. Neither he or I really bought into the pure blood notions.
Rimuru. So then it's like being a racist. Remus. In a way, yes. The pure bloods. Save for few are not exactly accepting people. Anyone who isn't a wizard or witch is usually beneath them. Even half-bloods, which is what you would have been, but they have a special hate for muggleborns. A small thing comes into the room yelling about bringing people such as these into the mistress house, under his breath saying several things Rimuru doesn't understand and doesn't wish to understand. He is about to bump into Chloe before a glare from Rimuru stops him in his tracks. Rimuru about to say something before Sirius interrupts. Sirius. Creature, away with you. The little creature walks away mumbling about how he lives to serve the noble house of Black, though you can tell he doesn't wish to listen to Sirius.
Sirius. Sorry about him. He never was very kind. Especially to me. Rimuru. What is he? Sirius. He's a house elf. They are in a way slaves to their family. Believe me, I would try to free him if I could, but let's just say it's complicated.
Rimuru. Slave's blood status forced into a tournament against my will. This is really becoming a headache. Hopefully it doesn't get worse.
Rimuru and the others are getting ready to return to Hogwarts as the day begins to come to an end. As Rimuru walks into a room seeing several names on the walls with pictures, though some of the pictures are burned. Sirius. Hello, Rimuru. Oh, sorry, I just saw the names and thought I'd. Sirius. It's no problem at all. Have you found my name by chance? Rimuru looks around and sees it with the burned picture.
Sirius. My mother did that. She wanted me disowned. It didn't play out the way she wished it to. Rimuru looks serious before asking him a question. Rimuru. You said you were my godfather. Rimuru notices that Sirius had flinched at the word were. Sirius. Past tense. Rimuru. Sorry, Sirius. No, it's fine. I was your godfather, yes. Like I said. I had failed horribly.
Rimuru. What happened? Sirius. It's not a memory I enjoy reliving. But you do have a right to know, James and Lily. Went into hiding. They were hiding from Voldemort. Using a spell to hide them. They needed someone to know where they would be.
It's called a secret keeper. James wanted me to be the secret keeper. I, on the other hand. Well, I thought I was the obvious choice.
So we chose someone else using me as a decoy. Well, it so happened that the person we choose to be the true secret keeper. Someone we thought to be our friend. Well, he wasn't really a friend at all. I had left you with Hagrid. You'll meet him. He's good person, so don't worry. But my mistake was not trying to take care of you. Instead I went for revenge. And soon I was off to Azkaban. It's... Rimuru watches as Sirius closes his eyes, already getting the idea of what it was like.
Sirius. I hadn't known what has happened until I was freed. Well, even then I didn't kill him. Remus and Dumbledore had kept me from doing that. Though once I found out what had happened. Well, let's just say that Remus had to keep eye on me. I'm sorry I wasn't there.
Rimuru. It's alright. Besides, I've lived 2 different lives and both have been good. Besides, you're free now, right? Rimuru pats Sirius on the shoulder. Rimuru. It's strange, but he does really seem to care, and he does seem like he regrets what ended up happening. But Voldemort, strange name. Rimuru. Tell me, do you think this Voldemort is still alive?
Sirius. I have my beliefs. Yes, I do think he's alive, though I do not know the condition he is in. I would say he's building his strength. Well, I believe it's time for you to be heading back. The first task will be happening soon.
Rimuru. Right, the tournament. Wonder what I'll have to do. Sirius. I'm afraid I don't have an answer for that, but I do feel the need to tell you, be careful. I don't know how your name got in that goblet, but I do think it was a Death Eater. Rimuru. A what? A Death Eater? Do they eat death? Sirius. No, they are the followers of Voldemort. Listen, people have died in this tournament. Don't let your guard down.
Rimuru. They let students compete in a tournament that people die in. Okay, I have a big problem with that. Rimuru. Okay, first you're telling me that they let students die. Sirius. Well, the tournament. Realizing that Rimuru isn't listening and is instead about to go on a rant, Sirius quiets down. About to rant until the door opens. Diablo standing there getting Rimuru's attention. Diablo. Rimuru-sama, it's time to go now, Rimuru. Right, I'll be there soon.
With a bow, Diablo leaves the room. Sirius, I have a question for you.
Rimuru. What is it, Sirius? Well, the way those people behave. It's like a servant, especially that man. What is your relationship with them?
Rimuru scratches the side of his cheek. Rimuru. Well, Chloe, the black-hair girl. She was a student of mine. Sirius. You were a teacher. Rimuru. Yeah, pretty surprising, huh? The others. Well, I said before in Dumbledore's office. Though I guess I didn't exactly say that they do kinda serve me.
Sirius. Oh, Rimuru. Yeah, I'm kinda like a king, I guess, but why do you want to know?
Sirius. A king. A bit of laughter escapes Sirius until he notices Rimuru not being amused. Sirius. I'm sorry, it's just. Well, I've learned that if you want to know more about a man, you should look at the way he treats his inferiors, not the way he treats his equals. Rimuru. I wouldn't say they're really inferior, they're kinda like family, you know. Sirius. And that's how one can tell who a good person is, so I would say. Your parents would be proud of the person you are.
Rimuru. Thanks Remus, who was standing outside to get Sirius to let go of Rimuru so they could go, smiles softly.
Meanwhile, Dumbledore sits behind a desk as he looks at several papers as his fireplace lights up as Rimuru and his group come out. Rimuru. Sorry about being so late. Scratching the back of his head, Rimuru lets out an awkward laugh at seeing as few of the papers that went flying. Rimuru assuming it was them, but with a wave of his hand Dumbledore brings back the papers.
Dumbledore. It's not a problem at all. Rimuru notices a smaller, rounder man standing on the opposite end of Dumbledore's desk and Moody standing against a wall. Man. Rimuru, how good it is to meet you, Rimuru. It's nice to meet you.
Rimuru. Judging by the way he's dressed, he's either someone in charge of something important or he has a lot of money. Dumbledore. Ah yes, Mr. Tempest, this is Cornelius Fudge, he is the Minister of Magic. Rimuru. So in charge of the government from the sound of it. Rimuru. I see, well, sorry to interrupt your conversation, where be going? Rimuru and his group leave or about to leave the room before Dumbledore stops them. Dumbledore. Ah, before you do go, I have a few things for you. Dumbledore holds up a something that is wrapped in a key. Dumbledore. This key is the key to your vault at Gringotts. In this bag is another key and, well, it's something that belonged to your father. I believe it's time it returned to the family.
Rimuru takes the key and the wrapped item, feeling it, noticing that it feels like cloth. Rimuru. Thank you. The group leave the room, much to Fudge's dismay. Rimuru. From what I've seen, if he's in charge, a few things need some work, and right now I'm not exactly interested in talking to him. I think I'll look into this tournament, but first Rimuru looks at the warping in his hands with interest. To be continued.